All right, and hello everybody. Welcome to 270 Live. I'm Keegan. I'm joined here with Joe, Ryan, and Spencer. Today we're gonna be doing something a little different. It is March 31st, Wednesday afternoon, and we are testing out. Um, I actually don't even know what we're calling this, but we're basically going to be playing some 270 as normal. But we're also going to be just talking about what's been going on in the news, sports, politics. You name it. I think we're trying to roll this out as a part of our schedule. So, yeah, welcome. I guess how y'all doing today?
I'm doing well, Keegan. I put on pants for this stream.
Okay. I mean,
Can break with his normal routine.
yeah, obviously.
Absolutely.
Um, is Ryan still here? I haven't heard him speak once so far.
I'm here.
Okay. What's up, Ryan?
A little low energy today, but I'm here.
Yeah. We can go ahead and get this game set up. Well, I can go ahead and host. But yeah.
I guess we're gonna talk about Matt Gaetz,
Well,
right?
hold on, time. Let me kind of explain what's going on here first. So we are because I did tweet out that we had some big news when it came to scheduling, when it came to what the program is programming is going to look like. So this is kind of a tentative thing here, but we're going to try to do our best to abide by this. Our goal is for a given week to do at least minimum 4 streams, one of which being a marquee featured match with commentary and the full sponsorships and the commercial quote unquotes and the interviews, whole shebang. Another day. Goal is to have just a casual day where it's mostly what we've seen so far with the past live streams. We sit down, whether it's myself only because these fuckers are busy, or I'm here with someone else, and we're just playing 270, talking about 270, and it's just a casual hangout. And then for our last 2 days, we're gonna try our best to kind of do a what do you want to call it? A current events podcast with 270 on the side. I don't know what you want to call it, but we're like I said, we're gonna be talking about stuff. Try to get some comment or interaction things
The
on the like.
270s, the 270 in these streams is going to be like the Caesar salad you get before the steak, right? Where like it's there, but you don't go to the steakhouse for the Caesar salad.
Classic Joe Miller
I don't
shitty
know, man.
analogy.
Have you been to Outback? Outback's Caesar salad is
Oh,
significantly
hold
better than
on.
most of their food.
All right, Alex is here. I'm gonna restart. Actually, Alex needs to create a game then.
Have we been streaming this whole thing?
Yeah. We're 3 minutes in. So
Yeah, well, Alex,
just giving that whole
Alex,
spiel
go back
about
and watch that last 3 minutes.
actually, I can go ahead. I'll go ahead and set up a game. But
Oh, am I gonna have to leave this one?
yeah, you're gonna have to leave that one. But yeah, that's the goal for today. So why don't we? Since I think Spencer's the only one watching us right now, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing set up. And then we can hop right into what we have in store for today. Yeah, I am setting up. You want 3 minutes, right? We're getting 3 minutes. Talented quit. Send it in the chat.
Not a bad.
This come under a league game.
Yeah, this is a
Or,
league
like-
game. League game.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. It automatically joins the league game.
It's talented quit, you said?
Quit. Yes, that is correct. Yeah. All right, so why don't we hop right into things? So yesterday we got some news. I think it was an Axios article that was talking about how Matt Gaetz was rumored to be seriously thinking about stepping down from his congressional post. He's a is he a how many terms can Congress? I don't. He's a relatively.
I think this is his second term.
Second
This
term.
one
We're
currently.
gonna go with second term. He's a second term congressman from Florida. Staunch Republican, staunch Trumpist. Recently got into fights with Liz Cheney over the impeachment vote. He's made a name for himself as a very staunch Trumpist, and he
wears too much hair gel. Also,
that too. He's
that man's hair.
a
goes
lot of
straight
hair
up.
gel.
In
Like
fine
Johnny Bravo.
conservative fashion, he has nasty looking.
Um,
Like Johnny Bravo.
But I mean, legit, it is like Johnny, like legit. His hair
No,
just goes
it's
straight up.
very prepared. Anyway, so we got rumors he is seriously thinking about stepping down from his congressional post, not running for re-election, and joining Newsmax. Which is not that surprising of a news thing, if we're being honest. Like, that feels like a
Is
logical
there much
step.
of a difference
Yeah.
between a Republican congressman and a Republican talk show host, like in terms of like cultural significance or like job functionality?
You're right. I
Mm.
think that I think
Actually,
this year
the
was a
talk
lot
show hosts are
golden.
more important.
If we're
Yeah.
being honest, on Newsmax, he'd probably be more important, yeah. But we also found out later yesterday that he was also under DOJ investigation for sex trafficking of a 17-year-old, paying for her travel across state lines, which makes it a federal problem. Yeah, he's in hot water for that one. I'm gonna jump in here. Who are we waiting on?
Me.
Okay.
Shocker.
Yeah, shocker. But yeah, no. So he's now under DOJ investigation. This has been a thing ongoing since Bill Barr opened it a couple months ago. And so first off, I think it's a horrible dose of irony in that he was like the lone member to vote against a recent sex trafficking bill.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
That's not a good look.
I don't know that that's ironic. I don't know that I would call it. I think more of a.
Yeah, that was a little deliberate, I guess.
Indicative.
Yeah. Okay.
Indicative.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And there was also a weird thing with like his girlfriend's son. He considered himself like his dad, but not his biological. That was a weird thing back a couple months ago too.
There was another thing I saw where like he was like I don't know, he was like just mentoring like a bunch of different high school girls about like not like caring about what people say about them on social media and stuff, and it's just a weird like this guy's like 32 years old and he's like involved with all of these like underage women, like just like you see all of these parallels. It's just
It's not the best look.
we don't know 100% what's happening. Like we don't have everything at this moment, but just seeing all of these different things, like it doesn't look good for this guy.
It's not
Bad
a good
look.
look, honey.
Bad
It's not
looks.
a good look.
Yeah, and so the allegations are now that he took this 17-year-old out to dinner, paid for her travel, hotels, yada yada yada. Totally not grooming her or anything of the sort. And it's really just not a great look, if we're being honest. I think what was interesting was how he pivoted away from it. Because I think he went on, was it Tucker or Hannity? One of the two, right?
He went on Tucker.
Tucker.
What's the difference?
I mean,
Oh, he went on Tucker. Oh.
Yeah.
Man went on Tucker.
And I didn't actually watch the interview. It sounds like y'all were more informed about the interview, but I do know he claimed that this random ass like North Florida DA or whatever, who hasn't actually worked for the DOJ in like 15 years, has been extorting him for this information. Which, I mean, that's
You can't be extorted if they don't have blackmail on you, right? So like,
yeah. And if the guy wasn't working in the DOJ,
It's kind of hard to blackmail somebody with like no dirt. Like you can't
yeah.
blackmail
So
somebody.
him
I
admitting
didn't
to
do
being
anything
extorted
wrong.
is admitting that he's done bad.
I didn't do anything wrong, and also they've been holding this over my head.
not really making a whole lot of sense there.
They won't stop saying that I'm a straight-laced citizen.
Yeah, seriously. So man, it doesn't look good. I mean, the question is, does he get like impeached for this, or what's the move here? Like,
I mean,
Absolutely,
he's
there's
leaving
no
for
way.
Newsmax anyway.
There's no way he gets impeached, right? Like,
He might get impeached, but nothing's happening even if he does. I mean, come on.
like worst case scenario, like Matt Gaetz ends up on like some far right radio station in Oklahoma, and he's talking about how like the left is still out to get him. I mean, I think that's like the worst direction Matt Gaetz' career can go at this point. I mean, he's got a solid floor just by being a Republican congressman.
and especially one who's already kind of established himself a base too, a base
He's
that
pretty prominent.
yeah, no, like he's a pretty significant congressman, and like he's got a following who clearly will not care what he does. So I
Well,
like
it's
he's
not
a
that they don't
backbencher.
care,
He's
it's
been in
just
the
that-
news.
It's just that everything that isn't what he says out of his own mouth is a lie.
it's weird though. The QAnon folks, they're always concerned about the kids and the sex trafficking, but then when it's one of their own, I haven't heard anything about Matt Gaetz being tied
I
to.
haven't either. Was he drinking adrenochrome?
Like
I think Matt Gaetz owns a pizza parlor.
Oh shit.
Oh.
But see, I haven't heard anything about that. Like that hasn't been a thing in the Q circle, so I'm confused about that one. I don't know. That's just that's an observation I've been making. Um,
Are you Bernie with Elon?
I am
Keegan?
Bernie with Elon.
Okay, I just
We have 2 elongated muskrats in this game.
We
Um,
do.
you know what? That's a great pivot to the next topic. I guess we can talk about. SpaceX announced their civilian lineup for the next mission to space, which is
Oh shit. Who?
incredibly awesome. I didn't actually really deep dive. I think it's just they had a huge applicant pool, and so it's going to be an all civilian. I think it's 5 of them. I think 2 of them were women. I think I saw. So
Daddy Musk is gonna
Interesting.
take us all to Mars, baby.
Are the civilians like scientists or these like
I'm not
people who are just like, I'll give you $50 million to send me to space?
I'm not actually entirely sure. It's
I mean, either are cool, but
yeah. I mean, so it's actually it's 4 people. Let's see here. A geoscientist and communications specialist, a Lockheed Martin employee, a medical officer, and a looks like a rich donor basically. Um, oh, that's cool. Okay, one of them is a St. Jude cancer survivor and physician assistant.
Hey, I know where that is.
Yeah. Um, oh, I didn't actually know this. This is raising money for St. Jude. 13 million raised so far for St. Jude. That's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, no, that's gonna be it's really exciting to see, I guess. I don't know. Spencer brought it up. That was a good pivot to some current events that we're seeing.
Elon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great guy, that Elon.
oh
Great
yeah,
guy.
so great.
I love inventing subways, but worse.
Okay, the Hyperloop is really fucking stupid. We can talk about that.
yeah.
It-
There's like pros and cons. I think it's got more cons than pros.
But
I-
like
The
from what
cons
I've
being that it sucks.
from what I've seen about like just the Hyperloop in general, in terms of like the amount of vacuum seals, you guys probably know more about this because you guys are like actual engineers. But like in terms of actually making Hyperloop happen, it would just cost so much
Yeah,
to
no,
actually engineer. Like,
it's a
these long
fun-
Oh yeah,
tunnels.
it would.
It's a fun concept that you can
I-
like dream
I
up
don't
for
think
like.
it's designed to be practical though.
But then what's the
Wait,
point?
wait.
It's a vanity
What?
project at that point.
Yeah. But I think that
Elon
was
Musk
kind
is
of
a
always
vanity
its
project?
point. I don't
You
think
know,
it really
not
has
designed
ever
to be
tried to
good.
market. Like, I don't think it's ever really tried to market itself as being like the next thing to replace like subways or whatever. Like, I don't think that's really the point. I think it was to be like an alternative for this really cool idea, this innovation, a frontier,
I
not
mean,
necessarily the best. You know, it's the first.
The issue though with
but-
someone like Elon Musk is he has so much money that he has influence over, like, even if it is just a vanity project, like this vanity project might actually happen just because of the influence he has over the political
like there's
system by
so
being
much a
virtual.
better there's so many other projects that you could have designated that money and actually come out with like a meaningful way, like even beyond transportation. But if we're just talking about transportation, there's so many other better solutions that you could have actually spent the millions and billions of dollars you're dumping in a fucking hyperloop, rather than a project which is practically infeasible, if we're being honest. Like it's just
Yeah.
And like we've seen similar things happen before, like Bill Gates and education, where the Rand report did like a full study on like the $1 billion spent by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation about how did this impact education and what are some lessons we learned. And basically the lessons they learned were that none of what the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation did for education actually produced any positive results. So I just don't see a situation where like we should necessarily be listening to these large impractical ideas that like we know Hyperloop is not the solution
okay,
to our infrastructure in America.
I disagree with like the comparison to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation comparison, because I would like to think that they actually were trying to improve education. I feel like Elon Musk is just building a Hyperloop for the sake of building a Hyperloop. So like
Yeah,
I
but
think the intent
don't-
is very different in those two
I
cases.
think
Yeah,
what
I
Joe's
agree,
saying,
but-
like at the end of the day,
Oh, there goes Spencer.
Did we lose Spencer?
So
Oh,
I
just,
think
I'm
there's
sorry.
something to be
out.
said for making something new in order to push science forward. I mean, you have to start somewhere.
no,
And so if
I
this is a
understand that.
technology that could be somewhere in the future, maybe this isn't ideal, but I don't know, like if you have the money and ability to try.
I mean, no, I completely agree with you. I mean, that's what science is precipitated on. I'm just saying, I think there are, like, with the
I personally don't believe in science. So
Yeah,
we shouldn't have it.
Joe's a dirty journalist, but but I think the point
He
is,
only believes in science when
I've
it's
got to go,
convenient for
boys.
an
I'm
article.
sorry.
you're gonna
I'll,
forfeit.
I'm gonna forfeit.
That's
yeah.
disgusting.
Hey, I was doing really well too, Reagan. I was about to block you out of North Carolina, so.
Wait, are you Lincoln?
Yeah. I was doing really well that game. Are you kidding? I'd crushed Muskie in the Southwest.
Yeah, you
True.
were doing very well. What was I saying?
To me, I don't actually think Elon Musk is a very smart person. I think he has branded himself in that way. Like, I think he has branded himself similarly to, like, he's like the Tony Stark of Tesla. We're like,
He really is.
all
He really is a
of these,
real life
all of
Tony
these,
Stark.
all of these inventions are not based off of Elon Musk research. They're based off of the engineers who get burned out of working for Tesla after.
Yeah, but I don't think that he's ever marketed himself. I mean, he's obviously like, I think he is smart, and I think it would be wrong
wait,
to say
hold
that
on.
he isn't.
You don't think Elon
Because-
Musk has marketed himself?
No, I changed what I was saying mid-sentence. No, so I think Elon Musk is smart, and I think it's a pretty bad statement to say that he's not, because he's made his money for a reason.
He made his money because his dad owned Emerald Mine.
I was gonna
What?
say, like,
No, he's
grew
one
up
of
in
he's one of the
South
PayPal he's one of the PayPal mafia. He's a wise investor, and he has a really good idea for emerging technologies.
Isn't
And
Tesla
he
like
is
not
smart.
technically like, I know he sued so he can call himself the founder of Tesla, but Tesla was a thing before Elon Musk.
Kind of, but like Tesla today was certainly Elon Musk's vision.
Well, I've got to go, but I will continue
Take
to
care, Spencer.
watch, listen.
Who's Bernie Sanders?
But
Is that Alex?
Not me.
But Elon's never like claimed to be the person who invented all that stuff. That's never been the claim. Like, I don't think people think that Elon fucking sits down and designs all this shit. He's an ideas man. He runs the company, and he's more of a business person than an engineer. Though obviously he has an engineering mind because that's how he does business. But
But do you
I
not
think
think
it's unfair
branded himself
to say
as,
that
like,
he's taking credit.
do you not think though that he brands himself as like this Tony Stark type figure though? Because when I see
I
basically
don't think it's
any of his
necessarily
media-
him so much as meme culture. Like, the internet's done that because he's the leader of a popular company, and he is a vocal person, and he has personality. I mean, can you blame the guy for being funny? Like, I think that's more of people just associating with that because he fits the bill of Tony Stark, not him trying to make himself look like Tony Stark.
I
It's
don't
just
think he
people-
fits the bill of Tony Stark. I'm gonna put that out.
You don't think
there.
so?
But the majority of American people do, and that's what matters.
Okay, no. But the point is that I don't think it's like he accidentally stumbled on to the branding of Tony Stark. I think this was a deliberate thing. Like, do you think
See, I
Bill Gates?
disagree.
Okay, but like, for example, like someone like Bill Gates, I'm sure he likes to wear sweaters and stuff like that.
Because
but
Bill Gates is a nerd. Tony
this is-
Stark is not a
okay, but
nerd.
Bill Gates, when he goes out in public, when he gives these speeches, when he gives answers to questions, his image I think is a choice. Like celebrities, like Lady Gaga
because
shows up to
Bill
an egg
Bill
to an
Gates has
award
a very
show for a
reserved
reason.
personality.
He wants you to think that.
I think he is like that in general. I mean, there's obviously a persona that's put on for public image, but I think that his public persona is going to be a reflection of what his true personality is. And I think Bill Gates is just not a boisterous guy, the same way that, Elon Musk is the person who has a lot of, sense of humor, and he's a much younger person than Bill Gates, so he's much more attuned with memes and the internet and stuff. And so that is part of his public persona. Like, it's incorporated because that's his real personality to at least some extent.
Yeah, I mean, I would make the argument Elon Musk's like public persona comes off a little egotistical, and I can't imagine that that's not a part of his like actual personality, if we're being honest.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely think he's egotistical, and I mean, to some extent, he has a right to be because he is massively successful. But I think that it's also a little bit of a little bit of his real personality bleeding through, like you said.
Yeah,
No, I think that's fair. And with a lot of these things, it's like I don't know if the distinction makes that much of a difference. Like if Elon Musk is like if he portrays himself as egotistical intentionally, like does that really matter in the grand scheme of things? Like whether he's doing it on purpose or not? Like
I don't know of anybody who depicts themselves as purposefully as egotistic.
Yeah, I think he just kind of that's just how he comes
I
across.
think that's just him.
Yeah.
Like, that just is him.
I don't know. I think like I'm not an Elon Musk fan, but I do think it's really cool that he is helping get us to Mars when there's no because the biggest
I
barrier.
think you can be a fan of him without thinking he's some sort of demigod.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem with internet culture is that he's put up on such a high fucking pedestal.
Yeah, because he's not some fucking mega genius. We should worship him, make him the next president. But I do really love his business acumen, and he pushes forwards for a lot of the same ideals as I have, And so I just think he's and he's a captivating character. He's kind of like a Rockefeller of our time. So
I don't know that comparison.
I mean, not the same level of like wealth, but in terms of like
no that
Now, he's not as rich as Rockefeller, but he's similar to Rockefeller in that he's like a business magnate who is extremely omnipresent in American culture at the moment.
I guess if you want to go with that angle, sure, I agree with you there. But
No,
And I think America
I think
just
Alex is
we have an
100%
obsession with
right on that.
wealthy
It's
people.
maybe not in the positive light.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying that that's a good thing. Rockefeller wasn't exactly loved.
am I
I
actually
mean,
gonna
Elon
beat
Musk.
Joe?
Do you guys remember last April where like Elon Musk was like, I think COVID's gonna go away.
Oh yeah,
Really smart guy.
he was bitching about COVID like restrictions because his company was losing money, and it's like
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's also been complaining about California for a longer time than that, and COVID was just the latest excuse to complain about California. COVID was also just the latest thing to hide the fact that he's mostly mad about taxes.
yeah, seriously.
Which, I mean, I don't blame him. That's a free marketplace, Okay, move to Texas, good for Texas. But
no,
last March 19th, Musk predicted the country was headed towards 0 new cases by the end of April.
yeah, I mean, add that to
by the end of last year's April or by the end of this April?
last year.
Well, I mean, either way, he's wrong.
Last year's April.
Actually, to be fair, there was a very massive decrease in the amount of cases from like the middle of March to like mid-April. Like there was really huge decline. There was. It doesn't look massive. It doesn't look big in today's graph because it was an explosion in June.
I think maybe after April potentially, but like middle of March to beginning of April. I think
from the lockdown.
Cases basically went straight up.
No, it's from the lockdown.
It was from the lockdown. No, I think now that he says it, I'm pretty sure Alex is correct. It is because of the lockdown. We did see cases drop.
In April, it looked pretty severe, or like it looked like a severe decrease. Of course, then the graph got massively boosted upwards, and now it all looks like tiny bumps in comparison to the rocket that happened in December and June of 2020. But I guess it's because after the lockdown ended and everybody went back outside, everybody got COVID in the summer, and then everybody also got COVID in December because of the holidays.
Well, Ryan's been awfully quiet today. He's tired, I presume, or something.
I'm just playing the game, playing to win.
Well, that's not really our goal today, but go figure. Yeah, I guess you'll move on to. What's up, Garrett? Garrett says, "Go Joe." Uh, Welcome to the stream, Garrett. So yeah, today we are just who's still in this game, by the way?
Ivan.
Oh, Joe got knocked out. It's Alex in this
Got
game,
him,
right?
Ryan. Get
Yep.
fucked. Get fucked, Ryan.
So yeah,
Tried to slide in there.
so yeah, welcome to the stream. Today we're just we're playing some 270, but we're not actually really it's not really the focus of the stream today. Today we're talking about just what's been going on in sports, politics, current events, yada yada. Yada. I think we were just talking about Elon Musk. Some very strong opinions on the man.
Fuck him.
Yeah. Ryan, your thoughts? Get some input from you.
I don't really care about him. Whenever I hear about Elon Musk, I just shut off.
I think
I
that's
don't like the guy.
Okay. I was doing some Wikipedia searches here. So the United States had 2,000 additional cases March 18th and 4,000 more cases the following day, the 19th, when Elon Musk tweeted that. So yeah, fuck him.
put that in the
I never said he was right, but I was saying, to be
put
fair,
that in the
it did
context
look
of
like it
the
was
of,
good.
of like the whole time period.
Just to contextualize Elon Musk.
Or Joe can just ignore me. That too.
I don't know, Keegan. You're piloting the ship. Where are we going next?
Well, I guess we can talk about the next thing that came up today. Clarence Thomas spoke for the first time in about a year, I think, and it was because
Publicly?
no, in the Supreme Court. And it's because they are currently hearing a case to the NCAA, and their whole paying student athletes thing. And Clarence Thomas asked a question to the NCAA lawyers about something along the lines of the coaches' salaries, massive growth for the past couple of decades or whatever, in comparison to the fact that student athletes are not and continue to not be paid. So that was just something that was interesting because it looks like the Supreme Court, with conservative justices backing it, will vote to support paying student athletes. Can one of you guys share your screens, because I accidentally backed out? Yeah, but no, that was something interesting to see. It's very apparent that the NCAA lawyers are kind of shitting the bed when it comes to their arguments. So that will be something. I know, like, states like California have already passed legislation for paying players. So that's something that we'll probably be seeing in the next couple of years really start becoming a significant thing. So definitely something to look out for when it comes to the world of sports.
And yeah, I mean, just in regards to the NCAA athletes issue not being paid, like, this argument has been around for, at this point, decades. And I don't really think there is a case that student athletes are not a separate class of people who are technically in name students, but in actuality, the school does not prioritize their education in any way, shape, or form. And they're just there to make money for the university. So it would be beneficial, in my opinion, just to have any type of situation where college athletes are compensated for their work. And we can just kind of put that to bed, the myth that like college athletes are getting a quality education from schools. Like I'm sure some do. And I've talked to some student athletes who do get quality educations given like their sports schedule. But if you're playing football, you're playing basketball with these strenuous workouts and stuff, it's pretty clear that the education is not the first thing on these athletes' mind. And it's a good thing for them to be compensated for the millions of dollars they produce for their schools.
So I have two concerns. This isn't an opposition of paying athletes, but these are concerns I think are valid when it comes to talking about paying student athletes. Is that just and this may seem selfish, but from a product quality standpoint, we are going to need to see regulations on how athletes are paid so that there's a level of competition that's maintained across sports.
No, I agree. I mean, direct payment is an easy way for big state schools to just bully people more. And I mean, that's like asking the SEC to dominate even harder than they already.
Wait. I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy, but like that's what we have right now.
No,
but it's gonna get worse. It does get worse.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm arguing. When we are, see, Joe, I can already hear it in your voice. You're already saying that I'm against paying student athletes because I said something like that.
I'm just saying what you're describing is literally the status quo.
We're saying that it's not going to fix the problem, and that's part of the issue.
Why can I not?
I can tell you right now.
Why can I not be advocating
the Final Four in college football? You could guess the top 5 schools right now that are going to be jostling to make the playoffs for college football right now.
Hey, Joe.
Right now, and it's because that's how the system works right now.
I've talked to you about college football for years, and I want you to pinpoint the moment where I've said everything is perfect about college football. I don't want to change a single fucking thing about it.
No, I'm just
no,
saying,
but you're painting me. You're painting me as this sports centrist here, who I want to commit to the status quo. That's not what I'm saying.
What you're saying right now is completely invalid. I mean, that is what we have right now of these big schools.
And I want to fix that. I want to fix that. And
but why are you bringing that? If we pay athletes, that's what we're gonna have, as if that's not what we're having right now.
And hey, I want to fix that problem.
If we pay athletes, we have to make sure that it's done right because it could perpetuate a poor system. He's not saying that we shouldn't pay athletes. It's just there's nuance.
The poor system we have right now is that these athletes aren't getting compensated. Period.
Okay,
that is the poor system.
Yeah. And implication
any other type of complications, but like that is the problem. We have to fix that. Period.
Okay, great. Great.
Good game, Ryan. I don't think I can.
Great. We pay athletes.
Yeah,
we fixed it. Hey, let's talk. Why is it mutually exclusive that we cannot pay players and also talk about reforming the system so that there's an equity across sports? Why is that mutually exclusive in this conversation, Joe?
But I think that is a separate issue from this.
But it's directly tied.
It comes to a bunch of other different things.
But it's directly.
I don't think me or Keegan are opposed to paying the athletes.
Yeah, I know.
That is what this Supreme Court case is about, and that's what we're talking about. We were talking about we need to compensate these players for their performance on the field and for the millions of dollars they bring to their schools.
Joe,
that is the issue.
Joe, that's not the issue we're talking about because we all agree players should be paid. We're not arguing that. I'm trying to pivot away to a conversation that we can actually have, and you're too daft to actually understand that I'm trying to bring nuance to something that we're not fucking arguing.
What we're talking
Jesus
about,
Christ.
I just don't see, like, if we're talking about parity in college football or college basketball, I just think it is difficult to achieve based off of how the system is designed. Not even necessarily with playing, like paying players, but just bringing in like just how intertwined all of these things are. Like if you have coaches like Coach K or like Roy Williams at these big college basketball schools, it's hard to really make a powerhouse. I mean, Gonzaga is really the only example in recent memory of a team that is not a traditional blue blood program, sort of establishing itself as that. So, I mean, we can talk about like parity in these sports, but I mean, it's just an
That
uphill
makes a
battle
lot of
for
sense.
any of these programs to get to that position because they have to make a good coaching hire, they have to get the recruits,
I'm
and
not
it's an uphill battle when all of these other programs
So
have
I don't
just
understand.
established themselves.
I don't understand your argument. Like, how is this relevant? And B, Garrett, I do read the chat. Yes, I do. Welcome, guys. Both of you guys. UT will never be on the top of college football.
Yes, UT
so-
sucks.
So I don't think that's
And
valid.
UT was paying players.
And the argument that I'm trying to make, Joe, is that instead of UT handing money to students in McDonald's bags, we should set regulations when we
I
allow.
agree with that.
Then why are you making such a big deal out of this?
Was UT the McDonald's bags one?
I'm
That
pretty
was
sure.
like,
No, that was Pruitt. Yeah, that was Pruitt.
yeah.
I mean,
Ryan, are
I
you heading out?
didn't.
Yeah, I'll be heading out, but
All right, take care.
I'll stay around for a few minutes. Listen in.
I don't understand.
The issue I had was we just kind of brushed over this thing and we're like, you know, and I'm talking about paying players, and it's like I was just reaffirming, hey, this is a
But
social
none,
justice issue.
none of us disagree with the concept that players should be paid.
Okay, but we
Let's
but we
talk
have-
about
we have-
something-
if we have a fucking show, we should fucking talk about like basic principles and just be like, hey,
Okay, I guess.
This
But we're
is-
all in
we're going-
agreement.
I'm
It's all
going to
gonna
lay
be
this
us
out.
sucking each other's
That
dicks. It's not like
people-
interesting.
Yeah, like
Okay, well, I'm sorry that I wanted to take the bold stance that players should be compensated and why that is the number one issue. And it's just I
that's-
wasn't really into the whole newsman thing of like, you see, the Supreme Court is doing this decision. And,
No, we're not talking about the news. It's just that we all agree. So let's talk about the nuanced issue of how do we put this into effect. Since we all agree that it should happen,
how do
now we can argue about how to pay them in a way that creates parity. Because that's where the complicated shit really comes in.
And
Because
so-
I agree, it's a social justice issue. They should all be paid.
So
That's
this
really
is-
as simple as it gets.
This is where I was going to now introduce the idea of you set pay ceilings and pay floors for colleges so that there is not this free spending so that the University of Alabama can dump millions of dollars when
Yeah, I think I agree. Pay floors are an absolute must in Division One.
for sure easily set a pay
Because
floor.
Vandy would
Yeah.
totally be the college to not pay our athletes hardly anything and just be like, I'm okay with being trash.
Yeah, no,
So you have to force schools like Vandy and other smaller schools who don't care particularly about football into spending enough to make the league respectable.
Joe wins the argument. A lot of cope from Keegan. Joe is really hot, so I agree with him. Are you guys talking about Fortnite? Can you be closer to the camera? I will be closer to the camera. Thank you guys for the input here. But
Is
but
always great content in the comments.
I think an equalizing force, I guess, for players getting payment without necessarily destroying the league is like being able to market your image and stuff. Like that's something that everybody can do.
that's an easy baseline thing. Because I mean,
And so I think that's like a good one for everybody.
I mean, okay, and so unless Joe wants to jump in and yell at me for some unrelated topic, I'm going to now relate this to the idea
The
that
unrelated topic being the one you introduced.
incorrect. But okay,
Okay.
I set another code, by the way. But what I was gonna say is when you let players profit off their likeness, that really opens the door for more parity to show up. I'm putting this in the context of college football because that's a sport I think we're most familiar with. But
I mean, it's also the biggest sport in
Yeah.
college,
But-
by like a very large
if
margin.
you are a 4-star player, right? Would you rather go to Alabama or go to Ohio State, right? Would you rather go to Alabama or Ohio State or Oklahoma or something along those lines and just be one of the many 4-star recruits, or would you rather go to a smaller program and be the big man on campus where you can market yourself as the man, as the guy?
I agree, and that's totally something that's good for like especially like quarterbacks and like wide receivers who can get like that like insane playing time. I mean, hell, it's Zach Wilson, one of the top recruiters coming out of like fucking BYU.
Yeah. And it's
So, and I mean, BYU isn't like they're not nobody, but they're not fucking Georgia, Alabama. They're not like the big dogs. So, I think that having that be a system is a good way to help promote parity, like you said. And to some extent, that does happen already, just because players want to get more playing time
No, but that's
and want
directly
to
incentivized by
do stuff.
letting
But
people profit off their likeness. And I've already repeated this. I do read the comments, Garrett, and we will respond to them. Welcome Spencer as well. But no, I think that's another benefit of paying players and letting players profit off their likeness, is that there is that parity. Who would have thought there are implications to playing players? Maybe we should talk about said implications. Wow.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair, but I think if what you're talking, like, if you're looking at paying players from the standpoint of promoting parity, I think you're still going to find some disappointment, because as we see, like, in other professional leagues that have salary caps, which are basically what we're talking about right now, in terms of having floors and having ceilings for players and make it so teams can't spend hundreds of millions more than other teams.
yeah,
You're still going to have disappointment, I think.
But
in
Yeah,
that
of
regard,
course.
too.
I'm not.
No, but like,
I'm not a
there's
college
gonna be
football
players who
communist
wanna
here. Like,
play-
I'm fine with dynasties. Like, dynasties are not. I don't have a problem with dynasties. It's just.
I just don't like viewing it that, like, my main disagreement here, and I'll leave it at this, is just I don't think you should view this issue through we're trying to create parity, because that's like, maybe sure, it might help parity, but like
That's not the
that's
goal.
not really why I want to see that.
No, obviously.
you don't want to create perfect parity, but you want to promote more parity, because college football is a sport, and as a sport, it it has to market itself. It is a product. It needs to be good to get people to watch, get more money for the school. Like, that's the whole object. That's really why sports are so big. Is you get money for the school, and it's a good way to
Right.
promote the school's name and stuff. So if you have like this league where it doesn't fucking matter all the time, that's not good for anyone. It doesn't.
Like, I'm gonna go play
It
at Clemson
invalidates
because
Alabama's success, because it's like, oh well, everybody else is trash. It makes their wins worth less, and everybody else is garbage, and they look trash. So that's not good for them either. It's just bad for everybody.
So I want to
Right.
hop in.
No, I think that's fair.
I want to hop in for a second. Garrett, I do use that
Who
microwave.
is
And
that? Oh,
and-
Delaney.
other Garrett asks, what college football position would Joe play if he had to?
Long snapper.
I was about to say, you'd be like
you'd
long
still
snapper,
get
maybe.
you'd get run through even if you were long snapper. Like, you.
Honestly, long snapper, one of the most high pressure positions.
Someone told me this a long time ago. I'm a solid quarterback on running plays, and I'm a solid running back on passing plays.
Okay.
I
So-
like that. I like that.
That's where I stand.
I don't know. I could honestly.
Are you good at throwing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Fun fact, I think this game on 270, we all picked the worst Democrats we could think of.
I just randomly picked one. This is gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackson Douglas. That is what we're seeing here. Okay. So another problem that I foresee happening with paying players is that we already see with COVID, a lot of schools are cutting back on the sports that they have. The prime example I've seen is Stanford is cutting 10 sports, including their men's wrestling team, which is crazy because this year Stanford won the national championship in wrestling. So
Wow.
I fear that schools will now use this as an excuse to cut their less than profitable sports. And so I don't know a solution to preventing that from happening, but I can definitely see
I
smaller.
don't think they're going to
schools-
cut all of them.
No,
but
but I think that certainly increases the odds of
Yes,
a
certainly.
men's golf team or a women's volleyball
Yeah.
team from being cut under the excuse of, oh, we can't pay these athletes. I think that
Right.
we will see
Like,
that happen.
I only know this to be true like at like UGA and Alabama, but I'm assuming that it works the same everywhere. But like the football programs at those schools are so huge that they pay for pretty much every other sport
Yeah.
at the school.
Yeah.
Like almost every single sport at UGA and Alabama are both supported purely by the football program. Now, not every school obviously has such a successful football program that rakes in such money. I mean, UGA and Alabama each have a whole state that basically is exclusively theirs. But
No respect to
I
Auburn.
mean, yeah, Auburn, they only have, I mean, if you look at the maps, they only have fans like
Yeah,
around it.
that was kind of a joke, but yeah,
Same thing
no,
with Georgia Tech.
I get what you're
Actually,
saying.
Georgia Tech isn't even the majority fan in Atlanta, so Atlanta's a majority Bulldogs area. But anyway, but I mean, like, so, but if they have to pay like a lot of people, then like that's less money to support the other programs. And while that may not result in any cutting at big schools because they're making enough money that they can afford it, it just cuts back on profit slightly. Like that does not bode well for those smaller schools like, I don't know, like Tulane or something,
Oh yeah, no, like
where they
if
have a moderately successful popular team, but not enough to take the bullet.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that those smaller schools like Tulane, like a Southern Miss, I'm just naming schools off the top of my head in the region
App
that are
State,
fairly small. App State, right? What I think there will be justification to be cutting
the
the
Chanticleer.
App State rowing team because they are going to say they can't pay the rowing team, these student athletes. And I mean that's a real problem because we already see these schools cutting these sports. I mean there's a reason why
Mm-hmm.
like these small sports are kind of dying off. It's because these schools don't want to fund them.
Yeah,
And
which
hey,
is pretty depressing.
yeah, I mean,
As the sports communist here, I still think the NCAA, which makes around, I think it's like 160 million a year, I think it can still make this work. And it's a unfortunate situation when you see all of these schools cut back on their sports, which have athletes at the university and produce a good product. Like I'd recommend people look into the Stanford wrestling story a little bit more, because like I'm pretty sure like donors put in money for the school to keep the wrestling team, and that's a whole thing. But I think if you have this situation where the NCAA supports these programs, and we have a situation where these universities view their job as providing a place for students to do athletics and to give people an education, that should be their priority instead of trying to make money. I think that might be a core disagreement here. I don't think a school like Alabama, which is a state school, should look at like how much money can we make as a school. I think they should view this as we are a public institution designed to serve people. And that's what we're going to be doing on a year-out basis with these athletics, with these classes to educate people in the future. So yeah, that's kind of how I view this. I don't view this as like the school needs to necessarily be making money off of these programs. Like the idea of people profiting off of like education and these unpaid, which hopefully will change, but I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts on the situation.
not gonna lie, I didn't really hear any, like, I'm not sure I understand what you said, how that connected to what we were talking about.
Who hasn't ended their turn?
I have no idea.
I ended mine.
Bruh. This game is dumb.
Because, Joe, honestly, I feel like you're still tied to the idea that we're arguing about paying student athletes. I think Alex and I are talking about the implications of this, and I don't. Okay.
Okay, but you think, but like for example, with what we're talking about, like with these programs being cutted, or not cut, it's not
Cut it.
but these with these programs being cut across the country, like Stanford wrestling and all of these things. I don't have the number right in front of me, but I'm pretty sure Stanford donors for wrestling raised about $12 million, which I think is enough to fund that program for years. Money is not an issue with these things. These are administrative choices. And I don't think it's necessarily correlated to this. Like, to me, I don't view this as irrelevant. That's my thing. I don't view this as a relevant thing.
I think you completely missed my point. I said universities would use this as an excuse to cut. Not that
cool. Okay, but like, I don't. Cool, they're going to use that as an excuse. What's the next step? Like, you see what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what we're. That's what we're talking. We're talking about solutions to rectify that because we don't want to see these programs being cut.
Okay. Joe's too quiet, apparently.
Say that.
I thought that was very heavily implied. I think Alex got that, and I don't.
But
Alex,
like, you're talking about like, well, I mean, schools are gonna say this, and obviously they're full of shit. Should be the follow-up. Like, I mean,
Alex, did I not say that? Back
like
me up
Stanford,
here. Like
schools that are that
Yeah,
big.
Like
Can't do
I pretty much directly implied that, Joe. Like I'm sorry, but like that is what I said.
Okay. I didn't hear the direct like, oh my gosh, this is bullshit, because that is
Well,
what these schools are
do
doing,
do
and this is like, okay, but
do you not
my point
think?
here.
Do you not think when I
Okay.
say schools will use this as an excuse, does that not seem like a pretty uh, does that not sound like I am using that in a sort of derogatory term to imply that schools should not be using that as an excuse?
I think this is a semantic thing,
And
but
I'm sorry you just can't understand the way I form arguments. I'm gonna look at chat now.
that's-
Keegan formulated a response to my Fiji Gate question. I'm not sure I see a Fiji
What's
Gate.
Fiji Gate?
Uh,
Like the water company?
No, I'm pretty sure he's talking about the fact that Fiji is under threat of missile attack. Donate your
By who?
pennies to pennies for
Who
Guam.
the
A penny a
who
day
the
can
fuck
save
wants
an
to
island.
attack Fiji?
Let's see here. Can we get a Joe Cam? They really want a Joe Cam.
they really want a Joe Cam. I could make a Joe Cam happen,
Uh,
so they can see my calm, cool, and collected face
can I put a
as I
picture?
seek to solve the nation's
They
problem.
also are asking for an Alex face reveal. So I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to do that.
Oh, what?
Well,
Yeah, I can. Let me finish this turn real quick, and then I'll.
well,
I'll
I mean,
do
they
the Joe
they
Miller
don't know
face.
what you look like. These are
That's true. I guess I don't think I've met Garrett and whoever else is in the chat.
Garrett and Garrett.
There's two?
Yeah.
My God, they're multiplying.
You might as well bring in other Garrett in here too. But yeah, let me set up the Joe Cam. You know what? I'm gonna pitch this one in the chat.
Yep, I got the Joe Cam.
Because I feel like I've been pretty direct on what I've been saying. Was there any ambiguity to what I was saying in that schools using this as an excuse to cut programs is a problem? Was there?
Again, Keegan, I know your heart's in the right place here. I just think you got to convey it a little bit differently. That's my point. My point is just you got to clearly say
there it is.
schools are saying this. Schools are going to say this. They're wrong, but they're saying this. Like
I pretty much did that.
Okay, like
I'm gonna pitch this to chat. I'm pretty sure I did that. I mean, I might be crazy, but like I'm fairly confident in saying that I did that, and I thought I was pretty
Get a
clear in
poll
that.
up there.
Let me put up the fucking face cams. Jesus Christ. Oh Lord. Y'all are the fucking worst. Hold on.
You know, I'm having a fun time.
Oh, this is awful. Let me scale you guys up.
So Russell Westbrook.
Hold on. Let me just fix this fucking thing.
I don't know anything about the NBA, so
Yeah, I don't know or care about the NBA, so that's
yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
That's fair.
Maybe I should try and start caring. Is the Hawks going to be any good anytime soon? I mean, I know we have Trey.
This was a bit of a growing year for you guys. You guys should be good soon. I mean, it's just you guys kind of had a rough go at it with injuries and everything, and I don't know. Trey Young is there's just kind of debate about like what he can really be as a player, because is he a guy who can lead a franchise to like the playoffs regularly? Like if he is the main star, there's sort of like we don't really know if that's possible at this point. I mean, Trey Young's great; he can make all-star teams, but is he like a franchise player type guy? So
Right.
we'll see moving forward. I've probably sold a lot of my Trey Young stock since the season has held or like just gone forward. Like, I mean, I don't know. I think he's good. I just don't think he's necessarily like a franchise altering player.
Right. No, that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I should start caring now. That way it doesn't feel like I'm such a bandwagon whenever they're good.
Yeah, you should get like get a Bruno Fernando jersey. Bruno Fernando's like the center on the Hawks, who's like a second round pick, who the Hawks just give like 20 minutes a game to for some reason. Like they just really love Bruno Fernando for some reason.
Oh shit.
And yeah, a lot of their free agent signings haven't given them stuff this season, so I'm not like super disappointed in where they are right now. I think they're still in the playoffs? Question mark.
Well, that's good.
Let me check because
Better
I
than
think
some
they.
All
Yeah,
right.
they're currently 6th, but yeah, what were you saying, Keegan?
Garrett says I'm not, I'm gonna delineate. Bryson says I'm not gonna lie. I seriously thought you guys were talking about Fortnite for the past 20 minutes. Garrett Yonak says Keegan is not wrong. Joe should apologize to him.
Oh,
Bryson says, "Whoa, Alex looks pretty cool. I like his hair."
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think the stream is actually dying right now because my bandwidth cannot actually maintain your cameras. So I'm gonna ask you guys to actually shut off your camera, because it's actually chugging along right here. So yeah,
dang.
yeah. So apologies, but we will not be able to have the Joe Alex cam because everything is breaking.
That's
Yeah.
usually what happens when I show my face to people in public. Like everything starts malfunctioning, people start seizing out. People are like, "No, no, get this man out of my face."
Makes sense. Yeah. What was I doing? I don't even remember. What were y'all talking about? Oh yeah, the fucking Hawks. Okay, Spencer.
But yeah, Alex, you should be a Hawks fan. You should be a Hawks fan.
Spencer.
I had a friend whose dad worked at Phillips Arena, so I went to a Hawks game a few times when I was a kid. But I don't really remember anything else about it.
I'm just gonna hop in. Spencer has been asking in chat, "Fuck, marry, kill" with the three of us. And Yonak wants to. Can I choose Joe for fuck and marry? So
Oh.
I hit the wrong button. But yeah, you should do I recommend you getting into basketball? Because then you get to talk to Joe about basketball, and then you can pull the basketball talk away from me. I think yeah, that's a net benefit if Joe.
I don't think
No,
I'm
I think-
ever gonna get that much into basketball. I just wasn't raised on basketball. It would be pretty hard for me to turn into a basketball fan.
I was going
having
to ask.
Basically,
like,
never cared my entire life.
So, as someone who lives, I guess, in that region of Georgia, like sort of near Atlanta-ish, have the Hawks ever been relevant as like a major sports team, like people talk about, like, or is it like the
Yeah,
Falcons,
decently.
the
Well, okay, so
Braves?
the Braves. I mean, everybody knows the Braves. Baseball's just less popular, so I guess it has like less like talking. But I mean, like everybody knows the Braves, and of course, because Atlanta, like the A is like a pretty iconic symbol of like the city, just the way that like the Yankees hat and the Sox hat, just come to represent the city. So I mean, like everybody knows the Braves, right? And they're a very iconic franchise. I mean, we're one of the biggest like fan bases in baseball, but the Falcons definitely dominate the landscape in terms of Atlanta sports teams. I think only people like actually like from like Atlanta care about the Hawks. Like, I don't think its suburban support is really there.
That's interesting. 'Cause, yeah, like I feel like in Memphis, when we like our NBA team is basically the only professional sports franchise we have, like the Grizzlies definitely, at least if not dominate the conversation, share the conversation with the Memphis Tigers for the
For
college.
sure.
But
No, I mean, that
outside
makes
of
a lot of sense.
so yeah, that's interesting that like a city like Atlanta might not focus as much on NBA because it's just not as, I guess, relevant or popular.
Yeah, I mean, the NFL has just got such a chokehold on like American sports media. And also, I mean, like being in the South, like football is just culturally like more important, Which I mean is
Right.
like the same as like in Memphis, but like we have the sports team to feed into the culture, So
Did you Dugan special Illinois, Keegan?
I'm gonna kill myself if you did.
Uh,
You dirty bastard.
yeah.
So annoying.
There's the Duke and Spencer. I didn't even see Ohio.
I like how
Shit.
it's become like an accepted phrase too.
What was I gonna
Spencer ran with it, and now we just can't escape it.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was reading chat.
You didn't notice Ohio? That was like a turn ago.
Yeah, I've been like half paying attention here. Um, really not paying attention. Garrett asks, who are your rookie picks for Bed Wars preseason that's coming up? I'm thinking Spencer and Reed are gonna be some big sleeper picks in this next season. You know, I would.
That is
I-
a take.
I actually agree. Reed and Spencer, like very tight contention for rookie of the year there for Bed Wars.
If you had to pick, which one would you go with?
I'm gonna go with Reed. I'm gonna go with Reed. I will stand by that pick. Reed's got he's got the Minecraft fundamentals down. He's got the passion for it, you know, and then just I don't know if Spencer's Harden is in it, you know.
No, that's a totally fair point. I mean, Reed has consistently been a guy who he grinds it out. He works constantly, and he just plays mind games with other people he's playing with. Like, it just doesn't even seem fair. And Spencer is a guy who I think I would probably pick just because I like those betting odds, and gambling addiction is fun. But Spencer is probably not as good, especially like with PvP and all these skills that you really need to be successful.
And so Spencer says, "Fuck you too." That being said, over the summer, I would love to tack on some fun Bed Wars tournaments. That was a lot. That was really enjoyable when we did that over the.
Imagine screaming about NCAA athletes while screaming that someone is on the bed at the same time.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, like I.
That sounds perfect.
God.
Yeah.
God, what is this? I've been like just like going through the motions on this game. What the hell are we doing here?
You're about to win.
I don't know. I've been like not doing a whole lot for most of the game.
Yeah, I have.
I've also been basically just passively clicking this whole time.
Yeah, well, I made headway. Finally got oil and gas. Not useful on ballot turn.
What was I gonna say? What were we talking about before the Bed Wars discussion? I don't even remember.
I'm trying to think. We were talking about the we're in that whole like other sports being cut
Talked about
thing.
the Hawks, then we talked about football.
Yeah, I'm trying to think where
okay.
we were at before that.
Let's talk about the draft, right? Because we got some a lot of talk about Justin Fields' pro day, which is right on the backs of us talking
Bro,
about
Jamar Chase looks so
Jamar
good.
Chase's pro day. Zach Wilson was big on his pro day, so
Did you see his fadeaway 1 foot like
yeah,
60-yard cannon? Oh my
that was a
God.
beautiful throw.
This is why I am so high on Zach Wilson. I would take him over Fields every day.
No. Fields.
I also just hate Fields, so there's a lot of strong Georgia
Okay,
bias.
yeah. I
Right.
mean, the Georgia bias is clearly showing here because I think Fields.
I'm more of a Trey Lance man myself.
Of course you are. God, Joe, the ever contrarian here. What is fucking new? What was I gonna? Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I think what's even more interesting is what the hell are the Falcons gonna do, right? Because
I'm almost certain we're gonna trade down.
But what happens? Okay, what happens?
Because what we need the people we need to get, we do not need to be this high of a pick to get.
What happens if like Justin Fields is sitting there at 4? What do you do then?
At 4?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we're gonna have the 4th pick, but
aren't y'all at 4? I think y'all pick at 4.
Yeah, but we're gonna trade down.
No,
I'm
but
like
what
very certain.
What I'm saying, if by some miracle Justin Fields,
If we don't, like if we don't trade down and if we are at 4.
You thought I was bad at hypotheticals.
I mean, no, that doesn't invalidate the fact that you are bad at hypotheticals, but yeah.
You're saying if we stayed at 4.
If you haven't traded down yet, Alex.
I know, but we're going to. But if in
God,
this hypothetical draft,
Jesus Christ.
so you want my pick for at 4?
You are at 4. You have yet to trade down. Justin Fields is still there.
I like Keegan's confrontational interview
not picking him.
style. I'm gonna
saying-
scream the question at you. Who do you take number 4?
Who do you
Not
take?
Justin Fields.
Okay.
I'd take Micah Parsons over him.
Really?
Or
Okay.
maybe I might take. Actually, you know what? You know who I might even take over Micah Parsons? I think I might take Jeremiah Owusu-Kamara.
Okay.
He's arguably the best linebacker
There-
in the draft.
I think there's a
He's
reason why
very
Alexander
good.
Lucy is not a GM.
No.
Wait,
This
wait, wait.
dude is a hidden talent. He is one of the best. He is arguably the best linebacker in the draft. It is insane.
I understand that, but if you're picking at 4, Jamar Chase is still on the board. Kyle Pitts is still on the board.
I was gonna. Okay, so Alex,
Panay Sewell is still on the board. Like,
Alex, I have a better question for you. So Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields are pretty consensus the top 3 quarterbacks in this draft, unless you want to talk Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Kyle Trask.
no,
but like,
do not put
uh,
Matt
no.
Jones or Kyle Trask in that picture.
Well,
Do
for
not
one
do
thing,
that.
I would literally never pick Kyle Trask. I would kill myself before I picked Kyle Trask.
I don't
do
know.
you
I,
think?
I could
Florida
s-
is
I,
so
I
strong.
could see the Falcons picking him up in the 2nd round.
Yeah, okay, I'd take him in the 2nd round, I guess.
Most
I don't know.
mock drafts I've seen
Evaluate
have
it
Trask
now,
like
maybe.
kind of like early mid 3rd.
Yeah, like I think if we got him like, wait, if we stayed at 4, where do we come in this? That's like
Late,
that's late second
second.
round.
which is where you
Mm.
could totally pick up Kyle Trask.
I don't know if I'd pick him there though, because if he falls, then I would want to get like Jalen Phillips or something.
All right, y'all want to play one
But-
more and then call it a day here?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to get at, Alex, is if those are the top 3, like you scoffed at Justin Fields falling to number 4, but do you think the top
I didn't
3
stop him
teams are
falling before. I just don't want to pick him.
okay?
I think
Because I don't think it's that unrealistic he could fall.
No.
because
I agree.
He's
it's-
maybe the 2nd or 3rd best quarterback here.
No,
That
yeah, I
group of 3.
totally agree. Because I think most people are going to take Trev and Zach
most
over
every
Fields. I
I
don't know. There's a bit of a debate between Zach and Fields. So I'd say that a lot of people would take Wilson over Fields, but it's not all of them.
I'm gonna take Justin Fields over Zach Wilson.
I don't know. I just trust BYU guys, you know?
Do you? Is that?
Isn't like Steve Young from BYU?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. He could be the next Steve Young.
I guess he could.
I don't know what other big quarterbacks have come out of BYU, but
I think a decent amount
You know,
of bust.
he's from Davidson. He's the next Steph Curry.
Because I'm pretty sure BYU's had some buzz. I vaguely remember there being some buzz on the BYU. Probably some just generic white guy, right? Because BYU was good back in the day. Oh, Ty Detmer.
Are we overcorrecting this game?
A little bit. Just a tad bit.
Steve Young likes him.
Okay, cool. Oh,
Also, I never thought about it. Is Steve Young like from like the Young family?
but what is the
Like Brigham Young?
Yeah, like the original Young family. The one that
Brigham
mattered.
Young. I don't think he is, right?
I mean, it is a relatively common last name.
common. I think it's one of the like top 20 most common last names or something.
Yeah, but
I'm
he
gonna
is
look
from
up.
like Utah,
He's
isn't
from
he?
Salt Lake. I feel like if he had,
Exactly, and he went to BYU.
I feel like, but like,
Well,
there's gotta
Brigham
be.
Young had a lot of descendants.
He did.
He had 56 children by 16 of his wives, and 46 of them reached adulthood. So
Why do you know that off the top of your head?
I'm reading the Wikipedia page.
Oh, okay. No, I'd like to believe you knew that off the top of your head. Gary O'Neck says, put a bet on Mr. Hansen. Once he gets off his mission, he's going to make big waves in the BYU scene. You know what? I wish I haven't talked to Ryan in almost 2 years now. I do wish him the best of luck. Because, yeah, he gets off his mission pretty soon. Spencer Contrasting says, speaking of people I don't miss from high school. Okay. Who
Wow.
are we? We're waiting on Alex, aren't we?
Yeah.
I sent the code.
Ample shofar?
I
What the
don't know.
fuck is a shofar?
I don't know what a shofar is.
A shofar is like a.
Ancient,
I think it's like a horn thing. I think like
made out of a
it's
ram's
a
horn.
Jewish cultural thing.
Jewish religious purposes. Like, yeah.
It makes a cool noise.
Huh.
The more you know.
That is interesting.
It's a shofar. Yeah. That. Let me go ahead and delete some of these tags.
Can I do a no filler bit here while Alex is loading?
Sure, do a no filler bit. I'm giving you 120 seconds.
120 seconds here. So Russell Westbrook was in the news
Jesus
recently for two
Christ.
things. Now, the first thing, of course, is Russell Westbrook is a great player. And he showed that the other night where against the Pacers in a win, he scored 35 points, 21 assists, and 14 rebounds, bringing him up to 8 all-time games with 20 points and 20 assists. Only Magic Johnson and John Stockton have more of those games than him. He's getting into a little bit of a fight with Stephen A. Smith at the moment. Russell Westbrook, despite being a poor playoff performer, I think we should still appreciate these moments while he's left. At this point, he's 32. I doubt his athleticism is going to last much longer. I enjoy watching Russell Westbrook play. I understand why people have problems with him, but it's just fun seeing a guy who is that aggressive, driving into the rim. I'm a big Russell Westbrook fan, despite obviously he has limitations. I don't think he can be the main guy on a title team, but we're talking about maybe 20 guys historically who can be that. So Russell Westbrook's pretty cool. That's it for the no filler with Joe Miller bit. Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah. I'm glad
Nice.
you've relied on input to that from myself and Alex, who are.
Well, I mean, you guys have been spending the whole stream being like, I'm not into the NBA. What are your thoughts on Russell Westbrook, Keegan?
I haven't watched an NBA game in years, Joe, or at least a non-Grizzlies NBA game in years. So I
thought you wanted me to bring you into the conversation.
Keegan complains about not being in the conversation, and Joe says, but you're just going to say that you don't care about the NBA. Joe asks Keegan. Keegan immediately, I don't care about the NBA. This is why he didn't ask.
Alex, what do you think about Russell Westbrook?
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any pairs of shoes, so that means he's automatically in.
Does he? I thought Russell? I'm sure he has.
I'm sure he has.
He's got to have like at least a few, but they're probably bad.
Are you talking about like he owns shoes or like
he owns a pair of shoes?
No, I'm talking about, like, his signature. Like,
I
his
am sure
shoes.
Russell Westbrook owns at least one pair of shoes. I'm confident in saying that.
I don't know.
the man makes $45 million this year just in his contract. He's got to at least buy a few pairs of shoes, right?
I don't know. Shoes are expensive these days.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But I would imagine.
Isn't it kind of ridiculous we pay that much for shoes?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you don't have to. I don't pay that much for shoes.
I mean, I'm still wearing the same fucking pair of Reeboks I wore like 2 years ago. Like it's not.
I will wear my shoes until they literally fall apart. The last few pairs of Vans that I've owned, I've worn it until the sole was worn through out the bottom, pretty much. You can get pretty good deals if you're a savvy shopper.
I don't understand like shoe craze because I know plenty of guys
I get it,
who
but...
collect shoes like they're fucking Infinity Stones, And like I don't I don't
We all know one guy who owns 100 shoes.
yeah, it's like I don't get the like you're
How did
dumb.
we go from a game where we were all three Dems to all three Republicans?
Like Joe said, we're overcompensating a bit. But no, like I don't get how you can invest so much money in shoes and then like you barely wear them
Oh.
either. Like you just kind of let them collect in your closet. Like I just don't get that.
I agree. I mean, that's the true flex, isn't it? Being able to collect the shoes and wear them and like not care.
Welcome Jack to the stream. We're up to 6 viewers now. They're just talking about Ryan in the chat. But yeah, welcome Jack to the stream. You missed a very frustrating conversation about paying student athletes. We've also talked about the Matt Gaetz scandal.
Every conversation with Keegan's frustrating.
Various basketball things. And yeah, we're
Trey Lance, my man.
Trey Lance, because of course you're a Trey Lance guy. You know who else is a Trey Lance guy, Joe? Colin Cowherd. Big Trey Lance guy.
I actually don't like the issue I have with Trey Lance is I don't think he's a good runner or passer.
Well,
which
as a quarterback, you know,
which I think is a bit of a problem.
To join the National Football League, that feels like a concern. Just me.
You know,
I don't understand why people like him so much.
He's got raw
his
talent.
Stats from the other season were pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he's
if you look
good.
at the numbers.
He's like not in the same conversation. He's like a good gamble.
Oh, hold on.
Around
let's not. I want to pause here. Let's not sit here and pretend any of us watched the North Dakota State game. Let's.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen stuff about him.
Here. Yeah, I've seen stuff about him.
I've seen the highlight tapes of Trey Lance. And it looks, and it's something.
It looks good. Yeah, no, I'll give you that. But like, I don't think we can sit here and go, "Oh my God!" Like his release looks so fucking. None of us really have like watched Trey Lance, if we're being honest.
Well, I just want to say, I think we should not be a society governed by experts, and dumb people like me should have a say in these things.
Okay, we're actually up to.
You know, I think me and Joe can agree.
You know, I can't say I'm an intellectual who watched all
Some
of...
people like Joe should have a say.
Exactly.
We're actually
That's what America is all about.
We're actually up to 7 viewers now, and Garrett is asking, playing Risk win? Oh God, I do not want to play Risk.
Risk is so much fun. We should.
Honestly, we should do a Risk stream. I would be down to.
It's so much fun, but like it's like Catan. It brings out the worst in you.
I swear they're listening. Jamar Chase is on my YouTube homepage because I pulled up the thing to hop on the stream to boost our numbers.
Okay. So Garrett says, I have a question for Joe and Alex. Well, Garrett, even though you don't agree, I am reading chat, so go ahead and ask your question. We're up to 8 viewers now. Some of them are people in this call.
One of them is
me as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you know, we
exactly. We should play the free Risk game on Steam on stream.
Do you not already?
Yeah, we should.
No, I'm saying I have it. We should play it. I'm saying we should play the free Risk game on Steam on stream. Steam on stream is a bad combo.
Who the hell is Megan, and why did she join 270 Live on Ramon? Who the fuck is Megan? Time out.
Is it somebody from your contacts that you added?
It's simple. Keegan's the villain, and you should team up against
hold on.
him.
I legitimately didn't.
Oh, I just accidentally ended my turn. Oops.
I didn't add them. Wait, who the hell is Megan? Who is Megan, and who joined the 270 Live chat? What?
You know, we should put as many people on that remind as possible.
I'm very confused by that.
So, oh yeah, Jack wants to do a Monopoly stream. That absolutely
we could totally do that. I'm still trying to figure out who the hell is Megan and why did
you? We can do that on like Fridays or something, like Fun Fridays.
Fun Fridays, yeah.
Yeah, you
Megan,
just do like a.
We welcome you to the 270 Live lifestyle. It's a lot. We talk about Elon Musk aimlessly for 20 minutes. We scream at each other for another 30 after that. It's a fun
We're
time. If you want more content like this that you desperately need,
Yeah, seriously, this is par for the course here, I guess. I don't
Well,
know.
what am I doing in this game? I don't know what I'm doing.
No, but I can easily see us doing like a fun game Friday or something like that where we just sit around and play like Monopoly, Risk, throw in some GeoGuessr at some point. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of options there. How power are Joe and Alex with a metric number and whatnot? That's the question he asks.
What does
So,
that mean?
well, how power are you?
I
How
think he's
power
asking you. I think he's asking you how to rate our power.
Oh, okay. Power rankings. You know,
You can't put me at the bottom. I am not at the bottom. I'm at least above Tyler.
No, I
I
understand.
would maybe put me above Tyler and only above Tyler, though. I feel like that is probably fair.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Oh, Gaetz is powerful. With a metric and number and whatnot. So does he actually want a rating? Okay, we'll go. Alex, 24 kilowatt hours, and Joe 3 horsepower. There's your
Okay.
power rankings.
I mean, that's not metric, but
Why did you phrase that like a math problem? Like, I'm gonna give you 2 different units here, and now it's on you to convert.
yeah, if you know what that means.
math
I don't
problems
even
like
know
that
what
exist.
horsepower means in kilowatt hours.
Wait, what'd you say, Alex?
What the fuck does a horsepower mean in a kilowatt hour?
I don't know. Find the
Okay,
conversion.
3 horsepower is 2.2 kilowatts.
Keegan, you not being able to convert that immediately tells me you didn't put too much thought in.
I really
Also, kilowatt hour isn't those aren't the same units.
Yeah,
Horsepower is a unit of power. Kilowatt is a unit of power. Kilowatt hour
Yeah, no,
is
I recognize that after I said that, but
the fuck even is a kilowatt hour? What unit is that?
it's one of those we use in circuits.
That's not energy, is it?
I think it might be energy. Regardless,
That might be.
the point still stands. Joe is
Oh,
I should have spun the wheel right now if Keegan is about to pin this on me.
I mean, you know I will.
That is Keegan's favorite thing, is throwing me under the bus.
I mean, it's
Or under the horse in this case.
hey.
Garrett saying I knew a guy that was only 6 kilowatt hours. Didn't you say I was 3 or was Alex 3?
He said that I was 3 kilo. Wait. No,
I
he said that I was like
I
6
don't
kilowatt hours and you were like 3 horsepower or something.
don't
Or did he say that I was 3 horsepower and you were
I
3
don't even
kilowatt?
remember anymore. This has gone off the fucking rails.
Okay, in other news, you guys know about Forrest Fenn?
Hid the treasure, right?
Yeah.
They found
There's a
that
dude who
while
just got
back.
arrested in
Oh.
from Utah because he dug up a bunch of graves in Yellowstone
Didn't they find it already?
looking for the treasure.
They
I
definitely.
think they found one of them. I don't think they found all of
okay.
them. I'm pretty sure he had a few.
I was gonna say I
I
could
could
have.
be totally wrong though.
I
don't
could
know.
have sworn I saw somewhere that said that he had it had been found a while back. Okay, well that, I would say let's go search for Forrest Finn's treasure, but people have died doing that.
Yeah. There's another dude who published a book that had like 5 or 6 different treasures like hidden throughout the country, but they weren't like Forrest Fenn level because Forrest Fenn wasn't exactly trying to make his shit easy. This one, it was intended to be findable. It's supposed to be relatively difficult but findable, and so you buy the book and it has like the clues and stuff.
All right,
And
take care.
that one was
Jack.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think most of those have been found.
For context, because I guarantee.
Did you calculate that or did you?
No, I saw that. I'm not blind,
Yeah.
Alex.
I saw that you had the distinct possibility of being able to match it, and I was like, I don't know if he's gonna calculate it right or if I could just do it.
Joe,
Based off of Keegan's recent conversion, so that wasn't an awful.
Joe, I know you have absolutely no idea what we're talking about. So basically, back probably, God, what, 50 years ago, right, or something?
That sounds right.
This guy buried like several $1,000,000 worth of treasure in a box, buried it somewhere in the Rocky Mountains, and laid out like a 10-line poem that basically says where it's at. And so for years, people have gone and searched for it to no avail, and it was recently found. I feel like pretty recently, like within the last year, or year or so, I think.
That sounds right.
But I think there's another one. Yeah, it's a fun thing. There's all sorts of weird interpretations of the poem because it's a very open-ended poem. But you know what? In fact, I'm gonna go find it right now. Because it's a fascinating.
Yeah, he dug up graves in 2019 and 2020.
I mean, you know,
Some people dig up graves.
but I don't think there was anything indicating that the treasure was actually in a grave. But
Yeah, he spent 6 months in prison. He's going to also serve 6 months of home detention, 2 years of supervised release, and he's also going to pay 32 grand in restitution for desecrating Yellowstone.
wait, are there's graves in Yellowstone? Hold on, that didn't even.
Yeah. I mean, it's a place that is like pretty old, and there were people who lived there. So
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Spencer types in the chat. I have no idea what they're talking about. Well, that makes two of us, Spencer.
I
That
literally
makes-
just explained it to you, but okay.
rich
I
man
mean,
hides
it's
treasure.
got
People
rich
want to find
man who,
treasure.
like,
Crazy Utah man looks in a
Put
grave.
treasures someplace, yeah. But like, do we know anything more? Like, besides rich guy did treasures? Like,
No, I mean that's the whole point. Is that it's so cryptic. It's a poem. We know that he hid it in the Rocky Mountains.
so like Zodiac
It's
killer
like
kind of
$1
stuff.
million worth of like shit. It's supposed to be like gold and jewels.
'Cause I
Because
think
he's like he's an art dealer, so he had like a lot of fucking money. And like antique, like rare type shit.
five deaths. At least recorded deaths. Searching for this thing. Oh, he died recently too. That was another thing. So yeah. Let me see if I can find the clues because I'm searching for the poem. Actually, I think he left multiple poems.
How well do we know that the guy found it? Like, how do we really know
Okay.
that the guy found it?
As I have gone alone in there, and with my treasures bold, I can keep my secrets where, and hit of riches new and old. Begin it where warm waters halt, and take it in the canyon down. Not far, but too far to walk. Put in below the home of Brown. From there, it's no place for the meek. The end is drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water high. If you've been wise and found the blaze, look quickly down your quest to seize, but tarry scant with marvel gaze, just take the chest and go in peace. So why is it
So basically, it's in like the Rocky Mountains. It's by a spring. It's gonna be somewhere near like where like a brown bear lives or something, presumably like a cave. Down in this canyon. Rapids are gonna be somewhere in there. We have a variety of like locationals.
This sounds like the plot of the Indiana Jones reboot they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, that is coming out at some point.
I mean, this is fundamentally what Indiana Jones was about.
Yeah.
Chasing shit after very cryptic myths.
I think he was just like, I'm gonna go rob these graves.
Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Robbing the graves wasn't the goal so much as the
What was in the grave?
it was the bonus, That was just an added entertainment.
It was all about the diamonds. They were just in the grave.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack is Megan in the Remind Me. Isn't his sister's name Megan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
right. What are you doing, Alex, by the way?
Nothing.
How are we
No,
not
like,
a
in this
ballot
game.
yet? Jesus.
At least Iowa will always be mine. Until I'm eliminated.
Well, I've been like half
Keegan really
paying
wants to
attention
wrap this
here.
game up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get this over with at this point. Come on, guys.
I've started losing, and that is why I haven't done anything in like 6 turns.
Yeah.
Oh, I assumed you were saving up to fight Keegan.
Yeah, I assume that too.
And, I mean, I was, but I also wasn't.
Good to know. Good to know.
Well, great. Awesome.
Spectacular.
The Lucy Turtle, Spencer says.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, this isn't really turtling so much as just giving up. It's not exactly turtling if I don't defend literally any state.
Fair enough.
I was gonna say this is turtling, but just in Iowa. I want Keegan to win right now, and Alex doesn't pick up any more states, and it just shows Alex won Iowa.
Yeah, true.
Oh, you've actually
Keegan
just
wins
given up.
outright.
Okay. That was not an exaggeration of the give up. Unless you're trying to
No.
snipe something here.
I
I
think
mean, I guess
Alex
I could like. I mean, I could go like all in on like New York or something for the fuck of it, but it's not like it makes a big difference, does it?
No.
So what's the point?
I mean, Keegan's going after me despite him already winning.
It's about sending a message.
To the brave people of Wyoming.
That's the motto here.
Beat
Alright.
Buttigieg strat, Spencer says.
Yeah, well, we've been streaming for an hour and a half. I think this is a pretty successful first go. It's clear that I've got to handhold my conversation when it comes to Joe, or he gets very lost in the in nuance. So that's something that
I
to
think
take
you need
into
to
account.
explain to people listening. But that's,
No, I think you're just you've just got cotton balls in your ears or something, or you insist on making everything I say an argument, cause that's pretty grossly apparent. But no, I think this is pretty successful.
Mom, that's not true.
Ah, Jesus Christ. But we will be okay, yeah. We will be hopefully continuing this format. What is today? Wednesday? Yeah. So, make sure you check us out tomorrow. Presumably, I think either a little bit earlier or a little bit later, because I have class at 4 to 5, so we'll have to sort that out. But, yeah. Thanks for watching, as always, and good night, Omaha.